fully transparent podcast. I'm really just telling you how I felt and what I was saying to myself. I was just like, oh my god, am I stupid? Am I an idiot? Like, why on earth did I allow this to last for so long? You could have left. God, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I allowed, like, this were the things I kept on replaying in my mind. And then I didn't even realize how that was starting to affect my reality, because now I wake up in the morning, first thing I remember is the relationship, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe, oh that happened, and then I just go about my day, and then it pops up again, oh you're so stupid, I can't believe you allowed that happen. So that kind of started chipping away my confidence. Hello my dolls, welcome back again to A Feminine Touch. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel, but if this is not, welcome back my dolls. So dolls, today's podcast episode, I want to touch on how our stories automatically and always shape our identity. And this is something that I feel like we've all heard it before, because I know I have, but then really thinking about it, and like when you're really self-aware and you start to really pay attention to the stories your mind keeps on telling you, the stories you keep on replaying in your mind, and you then realize that, oh my god, these are the stories I keep on telling myself, these are the things I keep on replaying in my mind, and that's exactly why I'm manifesting this kind of reality. And that can look like anything. If you had, the mind is really funny, because that's literally how the mind is. If you had a bad relationship and you just like cut that off, your mind will keep on replaying, like the bad parts, or like how we ended, or things like that. And then that automatically becomes a reality. You start being in that state of, oh, like I just lost someone, there's something wrong. And then your happy-go-lucky self starts to chip away. If you're not aware and like, wait, I'm replaying this story too much in my mind right now, it's starting to really affect how I'm starting to feel. And it takes a really conscious person, a really conscious woman, to realize that, wait, what am I thinking over and over again? And I feel like that recently happened to me. I just left this relationship I was in, and I kept on replaying like everything, like, because of course I was at fault in some things, and I just kept on replaying like all the things I like allowed to happen. I was like, oh my god, Esheza, how could you allow this to happen? So for like the past week or so, I've just been replaying all those, like kept on replaying, telling myself, I can't believe you allowed this happen, oh my god. Like I started saying things like, you're not serious, like you're not a serious girl, are you stupid, this is like fully transparent podcast. I'm really just telling you how I felt and what I was saying to myself. I was just like, oh my god, am I stupid, am I an idiot? Like why on earth did I allow this to last for so long? You could have left. God, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I allowed, like, this were the things I kept on replaying in my mind. And then I didn't even realize how that was starting to affect my reality, because now I wake up in the morning, first thing I remember is the relationship, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe, oh that happened, and then I just go about my day, and then it pops up again, oh you're so stupid, I can't believe you allowed that happen. So that kind of started chipping away my confidence. I started saying, oh my god, maybe I don't trust myself, maybe whatever. And when I caught myself doing that, immediately I just went to my journal and I just said, let's break this down. What is happening here? And I just wrote down every single thing, this is, like I said, this is gonna be so transparent. I was just like, I remember saying that I can't believe I allowed some things to happen, and I'm the one on YouTube who's telling girls, like, do this and do that, and I can't believe I kind of let this slide and didn't even take my own advice. That's so stupid of me. How did I make such a mistake? I know better. I know better was just kept on replaying. I know better, you know better. And I just paused and I said, you know what, this is time to forgive myself, because it's clear that I'm starting to resent myself because of the past mistakes I did. And yes, I did know better, but I tried to cover up. I'm like, well, maybe it's not too bad, maybe just wait for a little bit and let's just see, maybe he will change. But that didn't happen, of course, and that's why I left. But it was just like me having to write all that down, actually forgiving myself and saying, Eshaza, listen, you made a mistake. Like, this is not your fault. I mean, this is your fault, of course. Like, you participated, you're allowed to go on for this long, but now you have realized and you left. Most people won't even have the guts to leave. So that's what I started telling myself. Like, you still have the confidence to leave. Yes, people make mistakes. Sometimes we're blinded by love. But as long as immediately I realized, wait, this is not for me, I deserve way better, you left. Like, I left. So I was just like that, me reminding myself that I left, just like put my confidence back. And I was like, yeah, of course I left. Like, I didn't stay around and allow this rubbish to keep happening. Like, I knew what I deserved, and I communicated that to him, and he decided not to change. That's his decision. That has nothing to do with me. So, like, at least you went. You took your power back. You ended things, and now you're doing way better than before. And that just really helped me. So I don't know who needed to hear this. I just felt like I needed to say this. If there's anything that maybe you made a mistake, maybe like anything could have happened, and you're not even realizing that you keep on berating yourself because of your past mistakes or your past identity or your past habits. I think it's time to forgive yourself. Maybe I might even change this podcast to how to forgive yourself. But I think it also goes back to how what you keep on thinking shapes your reality. Because if you're wondering, like, why am I not getting better? Or why I wanted to become 2026 is supposed to become the best version of myself. What are you still holding on to? Where haven't you forgiven yourself? Where are you still looking at the past to narrate your current reality? Are you still saying, oh, well, I did try this business before and I failed at it, so, I'm a failure, and you keep on saying that to yourself over and over again, and you start actually feeling and feeling like a failure, which goes into you acting like a failure, and then you creating more failures in your life, and without you even realizing, because the mind can be really tricky. You wouldn't even know that that's why you feel this way. That's why you're attracting some weird things in your life. Because I just realized I'm a happy girl. I know how I feel in my body. I know what it means to be Eshaza. I know what it means to be me. Why am I not feeling this way? Until I really had to sit down and journal and realize, oh my God, this relationship I left, it's like I'm still mad and angry at myself for being there. So, forgive yourself. You made a mistake. Things happen. If you know better, then start doing better. Time to stand up. If you've fallen down, stand up, go again, start over. It's so normal. Imagine all the people who failed if they just kept on replaying, oh, I failed, I'm a failure, and then that business would have never started. That coffee shop, that bakery, that clothing line would have never been born if the designer or the person was failed at first, and then they just kept on saying, yeah, I'm a failure, and then they kept on attracting more failures. But I'm sure they said, no, I made this mistake. It's time to stand up, dust myself, try again, my love, and rewrite your stories now. Now, after I did all that and I cleansed, and I just threw up, I like to say, all those negative thoughts that I was having. And then I went to a fresh new page and I rewrote the story I want. How I want my new current relationship to be. How I want to feel in my body. Everything. I just rewrote my story. And I was like, okay, this is my new reality now. And this is how I'm going to start living. So I'm leaving. I'm actually living now I'm already in the desired reality, which I talk about. So it's now I have someone who actually does what I need him to do and gives me what I know that I deserve, so just keep on doing that, so I feel if you needed to hear this, you're welcome. I'm really glad. So my dolls, like I said, reminder, if there's anything you keep on saying to yourself that's bad, go get that book, that journal, and just write, dump, or you can even talk. My sister does this. My sister is not really the writer. She would rather record. If you want to record, you can just press play, just say how you feel, throw everything up, And then after, say what you want. Say what you want your new reality to be and just step into that. Like, honestly, it sounds easy. It's easier said than done. I'm not gonna lie, but it literally is. It literally, that's all you need to do. And God, I can't tell you how much I've skyrocketed. Like, my mind, my brain, everything. Like, the new people I'm attracting in my life now. Oh my God, amazing. I can't even, I have to like probably talk about this in another podcast, but it's just so amazing. Like, everything I wanted, it's like happening. And all I needed to do was just trust myself again and like, build that confidence again and start over. Like, rewrite my story again. And then train my mind to let her know that, babes, this is the new story. We're not saying that old thing. And anytime that old thought wants to come up, I'm like, yeah, it's like how you're watching something on YouTube and then an ad pops up and you just skip ad. This is literally how I think about my thoughts now. It's like, I'm like, oh, happy in La La Land. And then it's like, oh, remember when you did this? And I'm like, skip ad, on to the next, continue my happy. So just look at it like that. And yeah, I feel like that's all I needed to say. I really hope this helped someone. And thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this episode. Share with your friends, your family, whoever needs to hear this. And like I always say, do not forget to have a feminine touch in everything you do. Mwah. I'll see you in the next one.